Terrell here, and I'm back again with another review. This time for God is a Bullet, coming June 23rd. Theaters near you. Um, the wildest movie of 2023 goes to this. I didn't, the trailer does not. I think the trailer intentionally does not give you the full piece of how crazy this movie is. Like really ridiculous. I just didn't know what to expect. Directed by Nick won't get this right. Cassavetes. Nick Cassavetes, who also directed and written this movie. And it's also based on the. Let me make sure I get this right. The novel by Boston Tarrant. So I just want to make sure I get all that information before I get into how ridiculously crazy this movie is. Give you a little preview of this plot. The vice detective finds his ex-wife murdered by a satanic cult, and his daughter gets kidnapped. In the process of this, he has to do some things that he necessarily wouldn't do. To step out of his comfort zone, as you will, and do anything that he must to save his daughter. We've seen this before, right? We've seen this plot before with like Taken and various other movies where the dad has to save his child, and do whatever he must do to cross those lines by any means possible. But Vice Detective Bob Hightower here, he's also he lives in this Christian town. He's a desk cop. He hasn't done anything crazy, and people know that. But as we get into this, this cult comes in and kidnaps his daughter. It doesn't matter what it takes to do that. And when I say craziest movie of the year, it goes to this movie, and I truly do mean that. They take their time, and this is probably the most violent movie I've seen this year, like by far. And this the year's about half the year about gone already. I can tell you right now, this is going to be a hard movie to watch for some people. It's extremely violent, a lot of sexual content. If you can't take, seeing, any abuse or women getting hit in a movie, or it's a lot. I can't even imagine this. I was able to watch this early, but I can't even imagine that this is going to get in the theaters. I haven't seen exactly kind of what the plan is for that. I do know like they kind of showed the trailer low key. But before I get in a little bit further, and to reviewing the movie, kind of go down the cast list here. We have Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, who's playing Bob Hightower. You recognize him from Game of Thrones as Jaime Lannister. You can't forget that. That's his most notable role there. Jamie Foxx is in this movie as the ferryman. We have Ethan Suplee, who's playing Gutter in the movie. You know him from various roles such as My Name Is Earl, probably various Kevin Smith movies. He's been doing a lot lately. He was just in Blood for Dust more recently. He's been getting it in. So Maika Monroe, who's playing Case Hardin, she's our main character here, who is leading Detective Bob Tower through this crazy world of this cult, and pretty much showing them like how to find his daughter. January Jones is in this as Maureen. You've probably seen her 1,000 times. But yeah, so we got an incredible cast here, and I can tell you definitely put the money into this, and this movie is extremely gory. I had to step away a couple times, had to pause it a couple times where I was like, it's a little too much. Let me take this in a little much. Take this in pieces. The movie's 2 hours and 30 minutes. By no means did it need to be 2 hours and 30 minutes whatsoever. This easily could have been like an hour 30, maybe an hour 40. As I really kind of process it and look at the movie, I'm like, okay, this could have been cut. Some of these scenes, I'm not gonna say they weren't necessary because I can't see what the director's vision is, but just a lot of stuff could have been reduced to kind of get to where we were going faster. Because like I said, this is, I don't want to use the word like Taken, or you relate this to the movie Taken or anything like that, but it has a lot of similar plot points. But this takes it way further than those movies will ever be able to take it. Like I said, I'll be surprised like if this makes it in the movie theater. This is like what NC-7. It's just a real hard rated R movie, real hard rated R. And this movie basically, as you get through it, I mean, like you get a lot of drug use. Basically, they tell you right off the break, don't trust anybody in this movie. And I mean, don't trust anybody. This movie doesn't go the way that you think it's gonna go. I know I had one way about it, and then it just completely steered left. But overall, like I did enjoy the movie. My problem was it was just a little too long. Like 2 hours and 30 minutes. This did not feel necessary for this movie. Nikolaj, he comes in, man. This is probably. I mean, I really haven't seen him in much since Game of Thrones, but he does a really incredible job playing this role. He comes in as the grizzled father who's just pissed off and he's willing to do anything to save his daughter. Which who wouldn't? Happy Father's Day, right? Who wouldn't want to save their daughter by any means possible? And they show in the trailer like he undergoes like getting tattoos so he can go undercover for this cult and find anything that's going to lead to his finding his daughter. Like I said, but he comes in and he definitely kills it. Jamie Foxx. I don't even know why Jamie Foxx is in this movie. I feel like he is probably the name that is the draw for this, obviously, to get people into the seats. He's very, 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 very minimally in this movie. I mean, they probably could have did it without him. It probably served no purpose. They literally could have had anybody else play the role of the ferryman here, and it would have not affected the story none whatsoever. Shout out, get his check. I'm not mad at it at all, but Jamie Foxx didn't need to be in this movie. But Maika Monroe, like I said, she's the breakout in this. Like she, man, when I say she takes some hits, she takes some hits. I can't even tell if that was acting because it seemed like some of these actors were really getting into their character a little too much, man. I feel like everybody had to probably go take some therapy after this movie was done because it's dark. Cyrus, the character Carl Glusman, man, the guy who plays Cyrus in this movie. This is the guy that you just want to hate so much, man. He is the asshole of all assholes. He's like the worst of the worst, and that is what I like to see in these type of movies when a guy's on a manhunt trying to find his daughter and kill everybody possible. That's what I want to see. I need a villain like this, man, because this guy is absolutely freaking terrible. But like I said, Maika is the breakout in this movie. She definitely goes into a whole nother level with her character that probably, I guess I didn't read the book or the novel here, but definitely breaks it to a different level that I don't think you would expect. But just overall, like I said, movie's extremely violent. The story, the story is what it is. I mean, it's I'm not gonna say it's an action movie, but it's a lot of action in the movie. But the story is pretty weak. I found myself at times kind of drifting where I was like, all right, can we just get to the next scene where some shooting's gonna happen or whatever. There's a lot of intense moments in the movie for sure, where like the people are just staring at each other and you don't know what's gonna happen next. But like I said, the story was not as strong as it probably could have been. And I don't think any level of directing could have made that any better. Jamie Foxx surely didn't make the story any better, but I did enjoy the Punisher, hard cop, hard boiled story of this movie. Like I said, but it's just super hyper violent. Like I said, I don't think some people are gonna have the appetite for this particular type of movie, but it's still enjoyable at the end of the day. Like I said, would I watch it again? A little long, probably. Maybe if I'm introduced to some friends, something like that, I definitely think this is definitely worth a second watch. But like I said, it's just a little long. And I also watched the director's cut of this, so that's probably why this is probably a little longer than it probably is going to be intended to be. So I watched the director's cut, so I'm not sure what the final cut of this is going to be, like how long the actual version is. But like I said, this comes on June 23rd. I do think you should go see it. If you got stomach for this type of hyper violence, the action, people getting their heads blown off, and you will see it. you will see people get their limbs blown off. People are going to be shooting needles. You're going to be seeing some wild stuff in this movie. So I'm warning you now, as you watch this, don't go into it. Oh man, I can't believe. Look, I told you this movie's crazy, but it's good. Let's just, like I said, just from the version that I saw, it was just a little long. Could have cut some out. Maybe like that final version, when this actually comes out, it'll be shorter. But other than that, like I said, the cast did an incredible job. Ethan Suplee, like, who's playing Gutter, man, you love to hate him in this movie. Cyrus, January Jones, beautiful. She did an incredible job in this movie. The entire cast, I felt like, was just very well picked. Whoever the casting director is, with whoever. Again, I understand why they picked Jamie Foxx, but don't say I didn't tell you. Like, he's very minimal in this movie. That's not a spoiler. He's very minimal. He does his thing, and then you see him, and he's out. But enough of that, enjoyable movie. Some people might feel some type of way about the end. I thought it was cool. I definitely a very satisfying ending. Like I said, I have no complaints about that. But again, let me know what you thought about the movie in the comments below. If you feeling it when this comes out, if you feeling it the same way. Trailer definitely drew me in. Definitely worth the watch. Like I said, just a little bit long. But other than that, check it out. June 23rd. God is a Bullet. Coming pretty soon to you on June 23rd. But other than that, I'll see you guys later and catch you for another review. See you.